Welcome everybody to the virtual tour of our queer museum. My name is Sydney, my pronouns are Nainam Near, and I am a peer mentor and the education coordinator here at Trans Wellness Ontario. And I'm super grateful to the amazing team of volunteers that we had who helped us put together this museum. We couldn't have done this without you, and I'm really pleased to now be able to share this with all of you. So right as you walk through the doors, you see Trans Wellness Ontario. So that's a bit of history about our organization, where we came from, the services that we offer, our founder and our history to just really emphasize who we are as an organization. This is our Trans Wellness Ontario wall. And we have different posters to celebrate various things in relation to history of the queer and trans community, honoring the AIDS crisis, equal marriage across all time and space, queer and trans political candidates, to just communicate those messages of positive things that have happened in our community. And then, of course, we have our mission statement right up here at front so people can see what we're all about. So in this section, we can't talk about history without discussing issues of hate and discrimination and prejudice. So we have here our history of hate wall, which emphasizes those experiences, where we've dealt with discrimination either as individuals or as the wider community. And it's just those in Canada as well as in the United States that have had severe impacts on our community as a whole and have either led to progress or shown the need where there needs to be more progress. So this is our history of hate wall. We can't talk about hate without talking about hope. So in this next section, we talk about moments, policies being created, laws being created, and moments that were really progressive for the queer and trans community, that really, showed visibility, that created space to educate on queer and trans issues, provide protection from issues of discrimination, and to just celebrate how far we've come. So this is our history of hope wall. And we want to celebrate the agencies who have gotten us to where we are today, both those who no longer exist as well as those who currently do. So in this section, we celebrate those agencies who have fought for queer and trans rights, who have helped contribute to a lot of the things that we've celebrated on the Queer History of Hope wall. So this is our queer agency wall to just pay homage to the many organizations who have come before us. And similarly, there are many heroes who have stood up for the rights of queer and trans individuals within society, who are just very visibly and unapologetically queer and trans, living as their authentic selves, and people for us to look up to. So we wanted to share some of the amazing heroes from Canada, from the US, and around the world who have contributed to where we are today in terms of queer and trans visibility and rights. And we also want to recognize the amazing Windsor Activists who have helped create a safe place within Windsor, Essex for our region for queer and trans people. So just celebrating their work and their contributions in our Windsor Activist wall. We also want to celebrate representation in media. So, queer musical anthems that have had a significant impact on our community. Queer theater, so different plays and everything about queer and trans storylines. Similarly, queer TV with either very queer characters or queer storylines overall. And all of this is part of our lovely queer arts wall that continues on with different queer medias in terms of like movies and everything, again with queer characters or queer storylines, different musicals, just celebrating that aspect of queer art, and then finally finishing with novels with queer characters and storylines. And then we have Forming Faith. So this is a list of our different affirming churches and other communities of faith within the Windsor Essex region for those who want to explore spirituality and faith within their own context in a safe and affirming place. And then we want to celebrate the diversity of our community through the beauty of pride flags. So each of the pride flags means something very specific. Each of the colors represent something different, and we wanted to celebrate that and to also celebrate the terms that these flags represent. So this is our celebration of pride flags wall to honor that diversity and that pride. And recently we had a vandalism, but we were overjoyed by the amount of community support and love that we received. So we wanted to highlight some of that hope over fear, that love over hate. So that concludes our virtual tour of the Queer Museum. I hope that you enjoyed it. And a big thanks also to Run for Rocky for being our sponsors to create this museum and to make this happen. You know, we couldn't have done this without you, and we're really grateful for your continued support of our agency. And thank you all for joining us for this virtual tour, and we look forward to one day seeing you in person so that you can engage with the museum live.